CCP, China virus, take one.
Hey, and thank you for watching these videos. Today's a look into the future. Yes, a peek into what's coming into the next 3 weeks to maybe even a couple of months. Stay tuned. It's enlightening.
Okay, yeah, today, Thursday, March 26th. My, how time flies. Sorry, I've been gone for a couple of weeks. Not gone, just haven't been here. Couple of weeks, boy. It's interesting. Things have changed a lot, but if you go back and watch my videos from 2 and 3 weeks ago, you will find that I was talking about things that were happening right now, so there's no sense in that. Let's talk about what's coming up. But first, like I said, we kind of have to visit the past. You know, what happened in January? What happened in February? What happened all along? Why are we getting accused by the Chinese of starting this thing? Well, there's a reason for that. There you go. They have to do stuff like that. It's childish. It reminds you of South America or something. I don't know, third world. It's bully dictatorship stuff. They have to do that. They can't stay in power any other way. And in general, people know it's a bunch of wash, but the problem is they are running the country and the country's defenses. It's not the people, it's the CCP. So let's talk seriously about the CCP. Yeah, the country club of propaganda. The Chinese communist. Well, you get the idea. No, I can't believe any of this stuff. I've been watching a few folks talking about the pandemic. It made sense that went by the math, went by their heads, and kind of kept a grip and foretold what was coming. I was, doing a little bit of that myself. And here it is, right? Well, a couple of those guys, actually, that was what was weird, have decided that they're willing to accept the numbers coming from China. And that's just crazy. That's insanity. The numbers from China are not even a good fairy tale. There's people dying all over the place there. There's people getting sick all over the place there. They can control the internet. They can control what you know. Effectively, without the internet, you are no better off than, how many was it? 1,000, 2,000, 1,500, I don't know, years ago. And the Emperor of Rome had passed away for 6 months before the soldiers that were fighting for him even knew that he was gone. That's kind of what it gets to when you turn the internet off, and they have that control. And it's even astounded me, how can they possibly have that much control? Well, it's really easy. It's not like you have to be a super wizard. All you do is, Sun Tzu, Sun Tzu was their guy. They know Sun Tzu. And Sun Tzu would have done this handsomely. He just line up 10 generals or whomever he put in charge of smaller chunks, and they told them that they weren't keeping things on a lid good enough. And when they told him that they couldn't do any better, he shot one of them, kind of randomly, and asked them again if they thought they might be able to do a better job, and they all agreed that they could. And then they each went out to their 10 generals or colonels or whatever and did exactly the same thing, and it went the whole way down the ranks. And sure enough, whatever the emperor said, they did. And that's all there was to it. Well, that's kind of like what's going on right now. They still have the same thing, those same little police broken down into the little web that goes all the way from the top to the bottom. And you sneeze wrong, it's all watched. Everything you just watched. It's just watch. Just look at it, watch it. I'm watching. Oh, I don't think you should have done that. Send the police. Hey, we're not going to do anything to you. Just sign this paper. But if you do it again, one of your family members will disappear. Charlie down the road, his niece disappeared. Okay, well, you kind of get the idea of what we're talking about. And that's what's going to happen. So, so they can control anything. They can control what people say, what they don't say, how they feel at night, what they'll talk about. It doesn't, it's just whatever the party line is. Yep, that's what's going on right there. And it'll stay that way, I think. I don't know that we'll be able to change that. So the point is, whenever they tell you Well, first when they don't tell you about it and they tell you there's nothing to it, and then after people die, they start saying, well, it might be something, And then whenever they're just like on total lockdown, they don't come to the world and say, hey, we need help. No, they shut the place down. They stopped it in its tracks. And they probably did the most brutal and best and most effective form of relief from that pandemic was to just lock the place down. And it looked real radical to us. It did, but that was incredibly effective. Now, it was incredibly effective, but they don't have zero cases. All right, I mean, I would love that they do. I really would. I mean, that would be great. But it's a significant downturn, and but all these little guys all the way down the chain are afraid to report one, so it comes up zero. The guys on the bottom are not going to report the one or the two or maybe even the 10 because they know you get shot then. So they don't report. It's zero. Okay, zero. Oh, yep. Everybody says zero. It's zero. It's good. We checked it. Yeah, well, no, it's not. Okay, so they got a lot of people dying over in China. It's just the way it is. And they got to deal with dying people and economy and a run out rate and put it all together and make their best decision because, quite honestly, everybody's gonna make a decision. You either do this, you do that, or you don't do anything. Either one's a decision. So whatever. Some of us decided to wait a little too long. I was the first one in the hardware store with a mask and gloves, and got scoffed. I got scoffed. Yeah, right. I pray for that guy that scoffed me. I really do, because he may need it. I'm not, I just really hope nothing happens to him, because that would make me feel bad. But I don't think I'll ever know, because I don't know who he was. But you get the idea what I'm talking about. It's time to protect yourself. All you really have to do is if the entire world stayed 6 feet away from every other human being for about 3 weeks, this thing would be dead, gone, and over. So forever, done. It's a little hard to do, but it can be done. And if you have, mother and child, they get to stay together. They're either going to get it or they're not, but they stay together. Everybody else, no. Family members, you decide. But once you pin yourself to people. Once you're in contact with them, you are part of that. They become a community of one, and you become part of that. So you do that, and I'm telling you, this thing would be gone because some people will get it, some won't, some have it already. There's hundreds of thousands of people in the United States right now that have it. They have no idea. They're not even thinking about having it, but they already have it, and they just don't know it. And those over the next 2 or 3 weeks. Each one of them is going to peak at a different time. So even if no one got it from right now, you'd have this huge swell of people. It would look like the rate was going up for at least a week, maybe two, and then it would taper off to almost nothing real quick. And it can be done, and it's really interesting that for all the science and all the great things we can do in developing a vaccine, we can't bust the amount of time it takes to do trials. You just can't bust it because not doing trials can really be dangerous. And there's ways to speed that up too, but you can ease in, you can do all sorts of things, but there are risks. Let's not forget that. So that takes a while, social distancing, man, that didn't take any time at all. And I'm telling you, I won't go in public anyway. I won't go outside my house. Well, I go outside the house, but I won't go off the property or to talk to anybody without gloves and a mask. Now, and well, that's not going to help you. Yes, it does. You see, everybody knows it by now. The hand washing thing, saying happy birthday, whatever. Don't touch your face. Mask keeps you from touching your face. That's a big help. Gloves keep you from touching other things. People, blah, 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 blah. Keep the stuff out of your nose, your mouth, and your eyes. That's really the whole thing. So do that. Just don't, touch things that other people touch. If you have to, use something else. And, well, you get the idea. And it'd be incredible how fast this would dissipate. But, I don't know. It won't be long. Some of the hospitals are already being swamped, crying out for mercy. And that's like answered with help. We send them help as best we can. We can't send many because we're afraid the same thing's going to happen to us, right? Yeah. Well, it will pretty soon. That's the thing. The gloom and doom. Forget that. You got the report from me last time. You're gonna get the report from me this time. Hospitals overwhelmed, swamped, can't handle anything. If you have a procedure, I had 3 coming up. I've canceled all of them. I've had 3 doctor appointments already this week on just a photo, over the telephone, just over the telephone. I had some prescriptions that had to be filled. Well, hey, got all that taken care of. No No picking up papers or anything. Just, yeah, we'll take care of that. Send it, all done. Um, I thought that was wonderful. Now, there's some exams that you can't give blood over the phone. We've tried. But minimize. If you're around a lot of people, protect yourself best you can. And God bless you, because it's dangerous out there. Yeah. Kids, people that young say, "Oh, it's not going to affect me. It's not that big a deal. Get the flu." Blah blah blah. Yeah, this stuff is a predominance. Now I don't know the percentage. I don't think anybody's going to know for years. After we count the bodies, we'll probably know. But it has an effect. It has a tendency. That's all I can tell you right now. It's a tendency, but it's a significant tendency, which means it's like stay away from it. Um, it has this tendency to produce um, lung damage, permanent lung damage. Like, and they rate that, how much. Like I'm at 60%, and that's over years of. At least I didn't smoke, but whatever. Um, so I got an issue with that, and this disease tends to round off at about you lose 20 if you survive it. If you don't, you lose it all, I guess. But, um, so, that would knock me down to 40, which would be a significant lifestyle change, I'll tell you. And I'm not looking forward to that. I don't want to have anything to do with that. So, that would be, if everything went well. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I don't really want to be in a crowded hospital where there's not much time to handle the really serious stuff that can come with this. I just have no desire to be part of that. I honestly just am amazed at the people that will do that and are just, I'm praying, I'm on my knees for them daily. And I thank the Lord for them and their spirits and to keep them safe as He can. And well, you get the idea. Keep them safe. So that's what's happening. It's going to get worse. The stock market, Rex can't, I can't give you recommendations. I'm just going to tell you what I'm looking at. I mentioned, 2 weeks ago, if you were in, you might want to think about getting the help. Some did, some didn't. That's what happens. I had already taken a pretty good. I found something out, like the local barbershop was closed. I went down to get a barber, I actually shave this off once in a while, but you get the idea. I walked in there and, they were closed. We're closed. I said, well, okay. I mean, it's just a little town, what was that feller's name? Floyd, yes, probably Floyd's place. Anyway, it turns out, they said, well, we know this place where they're giving out free haircuts. And you can just go there anytime and they will give you a haircut. I said, really? Where is it? Where's it around here? I said, no, it's Wall Street. So anyway, off we go. So I had mentioned something about dropping down, cutting out, getting the hell out of it. You get the idea. Move on from the market. And what was really weird is I never suspected that silver would drop like it did. Oh my goodness. And it'll probably come back and all that. But the thing is, I want to tell you right now, this is like, okay, put this in your Rax Facts Fantasy file. Facts Fantasy file for forgetfulness forever. Yeah, enough of them. Anyway, it's not done. It's going to do it again. There'll be another wave. Because what's going to happen is, you see, right now, you got, okay, what? Yeah, New York's having a hard time. Trump and, what's his name here? Old de Blasio. Cuomo, too, But Cuomo, oh yeah, him and Cuomo, big buddies now, right? But then on the other hand, I would hope that they would do that, because this is serious. This isn't play. The first month that we could have been doing something about this virus was taken up by impeachment madness. So, who do we blame for that? No, Democrats. Anyway, we don't cast disparities like that here on the Rex Frizzle channel. But what we do is we say, it's going down again. There's another wave of coming, buddy. Because what happens is, okay, hospitals in New York are getting kind of hammered, and they're getting helped out, and they're screaming, and they want this and that and the other. And that's all good. Send it, get it over there. But the thing is, it's going to happen here. and it's going to happen there. It's going to happen in 3 at once. And then the next day, it's going to be 10 more reporting. And within a week, every hospital in the nation, it's going, except for like this little clinic up in the mountains, it's just going to be, almost a riot atmosphere. There'll have to be protection around it. There'll be shuffle them in and out faster than you can imagine. They'll be using skating rinks for morgues. Yeah, I got that from a movie, but I think they did it already in Spain, so that's coming to your town too. This is what's coming, and you see, it's like, well, China's reporting none, so we're behind them, and we may have a good little discount coming from the social distancing that we're already doing, but there's a lot of people that aren't, and those, excuse me, idiots, but are not helping the situation right now. Because what we really want to do is flatten that thing out, and even idiots can help flatten the curve a little. Um, so, but that next wave is going to be really, really massive because you see, before it was coming through this one and that one and the other one. Now it's like pervasive through the whole country, and so the the little spawn cells are no longer here and there. They're everywhere. So you're going to see this massive groundswell. So it's going to get a swell. It's going to go down everything. Oh, yeah. Then this massive groundswell. And that is going to scare the living BGs out of people because people are already thinking about and may have already been going back to work and saying, picking through the rubble of their lives and seeing what we can do, like after a hurricane. Only I call this like being in the eye of the hurricane. When it just comes down a little bit and you're in that eye. If you've ever been in one, being in Florida, I've been in several, but it's a creepy experience because you just got hammered. Depending on how big of a hurricane it was, you got the full force of it in order to get to the eye. And then as the eye, if you're lucky enough that it's traveling over you, the wind blows harder and harder and harder, and it comes sort of crescendo, and there's some roofs flying past your place, whatever. And then it just, within seconds, it just dies down to calm. Birds chirping and kind of wet, like after a rain, but there's no rain, and the sun's shining, and there's birds flying around, and everything around you is destroyed. It's real creepy. And you walk out and you kind of timidly go out and weed through all that stuff and look around at what all's broken. How'd your neighbor do and what's down the road? And, oh my God, look, what road? There's trees all over it, big giant trees crossing the road. You can't even recognize your own house and driveway from the road as even being anything you'd ever seen before. It's just covered with massive trees blocking it all across the road. And you go, oh, that just happened. We're lucky to be alive. Yeah, we're lucky to be alive. Everybody kind of nodding, but not getting real happy because the other side of the hurricane's about a minute and a half away. And everybody starts walking back inside quietly, huddling up in that corner. And within seconds, the wind's back up to 130 miles an hour, going the other direction. Everything that was bent one way just got ripped out. But you know that once you get through the first little bit, it goes down. It might take hours and hours, but it's going to slowly go down. And whatever it is at one moment, it'll slowly get. So you can look at your debris and see what's going on. I just told you what's going to happen over the next month and a half. Take that story and listen to it, and you'll see a picture of what's going to happen with the wave of infections, the rise, the dip, the next rise. The crash is going to be incredible. Brace yourself. Live your life. Do the things you got to do. Go out, survey your damage, see what you can do. You're going to get hit again. This one's going to take a lot more people out. That's just what's going to happen. So, I know I ended that on a happy note. You guys have a very blessed afternoon, and God knows I love you, and be safe. Remember, this virus started in China. We'll talk later about whether it was man-made, weaponized, or otherwise. That's not the point. The point is, are you being a responsible citizen to yourself, to your family, to your relatives, to your friends, to your neighbors, and to any people that you come in contact with any day? Are you being responsible? Because if you're not, well, why does it matter if they are? Like, share, and subscribe.